Hi, this is Cari for Granny B's Paints. Today we're going to go over the Black Magic Wax. Now it's one of our waxing creams. It comes in a really dark saturated black color, but we also have a clear waxing cream, and I'm going to use that as the base for before I add the tinted wax. I painted this frame in Overcast, and now I'm just adding the waxing cream with a cloth, and I'm getting in all those little grooves and making sure that the coverage is nice and even, and then I let it cure for about 2 to 3 hours before I go with the tinted wax. I do prefer to add it with a cloth, but I will show you how you can add it with a brush as well. The cloth helps you get into all those little nooks and crannies if you have a lot of detail in the pieces that you're painting or any kind of DIY home accessory project you're working on. Now, the black magic wax is highly concentrated. A very little bit goes a long, long way. So I just add a little tiny dab to my cloth, and then I start to work it over my surface, and I try to get it as evenly as possible and get in all those little grooves because I love how it looks in all the details. It really highlights all of those little architectural details in your pieces with ease. The wax cream is food safe and it's also UV resistant. So you really can use this for a lot of different things. And here I'm just showing how to apply it as evenly as possible. And now I'm going to show you how to do it with a brush. This is a Hamilton's wax brush. So this is another tool that you can use to apply the wax with. It's actually really nice because it does get into all those little lines and everything very nicely. I think that with the cloth, you can still work it in, and that's how I prefer it because I have more control over the wax, but a brush works just as well. And you really want to make sure you use a nice high quality wax brush if you're going to go this route. And there are the results. It's so beautiful, and you can still see all the details perfectly. Now here I'm using this on a board that I already made for another video, my Rustica video, but I had this left over from that video, so I just wanted to show you how it looks with like a raised stencil effect. So I used the Portuguese tile stencil and the emboss paste for a dimensional look. And now what I'm doing is I'm going over it with the black magic wax. I've already primed this with the waxing cream, with the clear waxing cream. I just didn't show that step because I'd already showed it on the frame. And here you can see that I'm just working it in really, really nicely. And you want to make sure that you get in all those little crevices to highlight the details later. And like I said, you could add just a very little bit to your brush, and a little bit goes a long, long way. Now, while this wax is still wet, I can go over it with the original waxing cream. And what that will do is start to remove some of the excess black magic wax. If you just want to highlight the details of the stencil design, this is a really great technique. So I'm just going over it with the cloth and removing some of that tint. So it's just going to go into some of the layers, not all of them, and it's going to show a lot of contrast when you're done. Now, if you make a mistake and you add too much of this, you can go back with the clear wax on your cloth and remove it. So it helps move it around and it's very friendly to use. I hope you learned a lot. Thanks.